C Brew for the 2. How do you feel about Alyssa Mercante taking credit for Ryan? C Brew, I'm so glad you asked, because I do plan on discussing this creature about that situation in particular.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. We got David Elias, Independent Courier for 2. I am very angry about Ryan's situation. Redacted. I will tell you guys, since you guys are bringing it up right now, X was a complete show today, by the way. I am very, very frustrated. I don't know if I'm angry. Angry is not the right word. I'm not like ready to fight YouTube physically type thing. I'm just very frustrated, and I feel very helpless about the entire situation. So I'm doing everything within my power that I legally can. But at the end of the day, it kind of feels pretty helpless. We got me tweeting this earlier, and I said, "Dear Team YouTube, I speak for many in the community when I say Ryan Roger Athay is an upstanding creator who sparks genuine, insightful conversations. This termination appears to be the result of a massive false flag campaign, and it's absolutely the wrong call. Please review this urgently and reinstate his channel." And I give the link because I know Team YouTube's a robot, so you want to make sure you give them a link, and hopefully someone sees this at some point. This kind of feels like putting a message in a bottle when you're lost at sea and putting the cork in it and just kind of throwing it as far as you can. And now you just wait. And you just hope that maybe it hits an island, and that island just happens to be YouTube. Like, not great odds, but I'm doing what I can. Ryan is an active member of many online streams and an active participant in various channels across the entire platform. His deplatforming channel deletion not only is a devastating hit to his own creator journey, but many others as well, which I genuinely mean that. Like, on top of Saturday Night Hypnosis, on top of him being on Will of the Fans, just for selfish reasons, on Saturday Night Smashcast, me and him were starting kind of like a trend. We had 2 weeks in a row, and we're planning to do a third week in a row with it this week. And I was like, we got maybe like something here, because we have good chemistry working off each other. As much as this guy might drive me insane with some of the things he says, I feel like it's like almost like a good cop, bad cop type conversation. But he is so smart. I mean, the dude's like 25. He looks like he's 525, but he is wise well beyond his years. And very insightful conversations where I was learning so much just by having him here and be like, Ryan, do you know anything about this philosopher, this philosophy, this mind thinking, this line of thought, this trend, this psychology? Every time he'd be like, yep, what this falls under, you see, is specifically the nomenclatures from Aristotle would be one of the people, and Socrates a little bit as well. And let me tell you why. Aristotle, I'm like, bro, like, whoa, this guy is a fountain. Holy shit. Bottle that, use that. He's amazing. I don't have enough good things to say about him. And I said, we implore you to please reconsider hashtag justice for Ryan, which I can't take credit for that. I saw other people starting that hashtag. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take that and run with it. And I CC'd YouTube Gaming and YouTube Game Creators, everything that's on YouTube. And I put the hashtag on the picture there. And I retweeted, quote tweeted his, your channel won't be put back on YouTube panel here. And so far, I will share this in the chat right now. If you guys please take a moment, please consider retweeting this. I never ask people to retweet shit. I never do. In fact, I'm going to even retweet myself right now. Please consider retweeting this. Get the word out there. The more eyeballs we have on this, the more attention it gets, the more pressure it puts on YouTube to at least give a response to it. So yeah, please, for Ryan's sake, please consider retweeting this and getting the word out there. Again, for selfish reasons, I felt like he was really, really helping me on top of how amazing he was as his own creator. This is something that is impacting me as well. So even if taking myself out of it, even if I'm not a part of it, I'm like, damn, this guy's awesome. But since he started joining me, I'm like, man, I take it personally now. I feel like a part of me has been cut off. Pause. So leading into that, we'll go into, I guess, the next portion, which I will say, yeah, clip that. I know. God damn it. I can't even talk anymore, I swear. So for those of you who might recall, I don't have the specific clip ready right now because it was a very busy day, but this is the podcast link to Alyssa Mercante and Taylor Lorenz talking about Gamergate 2.0 and the bullying that she's been facing. And I covered this in a previous video, which is how I know it happened. It's like an hour-long conversation of them just feeling each other up the entire time, rhetorically, or whatever the word is. Ultimately, the biggest takeaway that I got from this was Alyssa is a proud reporter of people she wants to deplatform. And she wears that as a badge of honor when she's able to take people down. And it's really sad. It's really sad that there are people like that in this world, but it is what it is. So we got Jay Viper, who says, this is how Alyssa tweets about Smash JT. His post in her left pick all the time. Doesn't name him, subtweets with pictures, clips him out to let him know, I'm always watching you. All the time. Snake. Actions of a deranged individual. Also, hashtag justice for Ryan, which shout out to Jay Viper. And this comes from James Opp, who tagged me alongside everyone else, says she always tells on herself. And this image here, which is on her account here, because I can't click on the picture to see it. Let me go over to her account. The upstanding man in question calling a black man's game studio Spear Chucker Studios. What insight. So hold up. Are we now on the cancel train again? Is that what we're riding, the cancel train for? What is this? A 4-second clip. This man's been on YouTube for 4 years, 5 years, maybe 6 years. We'll say 5 years. He's been on YouTube for at least 5 years. And what does he say?
But then he was crying.
Should have been Spear Chucker Studios. It would have made more sense.
But then he was.
So that comment, which was, I will admit, a very poor attempt at a joke, but still an attempt at a joke. This thing called humor that lefties always try to cancel because they have no idea how to meme. Remember that whole left doesn't know how to meme? Have you seen any funny comedians that are on the left? No, never, because they don't know how to be funny, because anytime it's funny, it's controversial, and they can't be controversial. So they want to cancel him for that. And this is her clipping me out of context and not naming me, but she's always watching me. And she followed up with, let me go back to this. Anyway, he got deplatformed. I'd say I'm surprised it took so long, but I'm not. I will continue to beat the drum that YouTube and other platforms have a moral and ethical obligation to deplatform people spewing virulent, what the hell is virulent? Racism, sexism, homophobia, and more. Free speech does not extend to privately owned companies, and they need to tighten up. Smiley face. So this is a not so subtle direct attack and admission, to me at least, of someone who is actively reporting channels, trying to get people deplatformed and taken down. And that's not too much of a leap to say that. And the funniest, craziest, wildest part about this entire situation is this is coming from someone who clearly knew what she was doing when she clipped what I was saying completely out of context to make me look as bad as possible and give the impression to an audience that I am someone that I'm not, to push a point across to try to cancel me. This is someone that is very, very scary and should be concerning to social media in general. And I'm not for someone that should be canceling and calling for people to be banned or reported. But I do find it curious that the same person dancing on the grave of Ryan Roger Athay is the very same person that actively, just days ago, clipped me out of context multiple times, harmful opinions exposed her ass, and she is gleeful and ignorant to her own actions, which is wild to me. That's absolutely wild. And the sooner she goes away from all of this, the better the entire community will be. She is a shit stain on the bottom of our feet. And apparently you just have to walk enough for that stain and that smell to dissipate. But my God, it was a really gross shit that we stepped in.